You guys, we freaking did it. 2,700 square foot of house, and it's totally renovated and ready to sell. We have gone through so much over the last 2 years, and I'm so excited to work on this video and put this thing together and just do a massive recap of everything that we've been through. From intense contractor drama to tearing into the side wall and expanding the windows, painting the entire outside of the house, painting like 5 bedrooms plus 2 living rooms and a massive kitchen and breakfast room. So many things have happened in this house. A mural's been painted, lights have been installed, trim and molding has been sanded, caulked and scrubbed down and repainted and touched up. Curtains were hung, decor, all the things. It's been a wild ride and I'm excited that it's over. I'm also incredibly proud of everything that we've accomplished over the last 2 years and just glad to be done. So without further ado, let me take you back in time and then bring you back to today. Welcome to the living room today. It doesn't have our furniture in it, but to be honest, looks super legit with the staging furniture. We've got a swanky sofa and swanky chairs. It's a vibe. Welcome to the 1920s. 100 years ago, this house was built and we have officially brought it back to life. We repainted the moldings black, touched up the walls white. It was a much more like tan, dirty kind of off-white color that just really made this room feel so much darker than what it really could have felt. This room and the room with the mural gets the least amount of light, so we really just wanted to kind of brighten it up and add a contrast that really elevated the space to kind of make it feel bougie. So the black and white contrast I feel like is really modern but also very fitting and really highlights a lot of the details. It feels really awesome to see this space just like fully come together. We never were able to work on the fireplace and get it to function. It does need to be cleaned out, but we've got some wood that makes it feel a vibe, so that's kind of cool. We also refinished the French doors. They weren't actually originally hung whenever we were moving in. We found them up in the attic, but I'm pretty jazzed about how they turned out. I feel like the contrast in that as well is just like another detail that just really pops whenever you come in the front door. So I'm going to turn you guys around and take you right into the mural room. So welcome to the mural room. This room was many things in our time whilst living here, from a living room whenever the living room was being renovated, to an office at one point, to a playroom. It's just music vibes whenever we had Friendsgiving here. This house was so amazing for like hosting big events. We had about like 30 people in this whole space at one point for Friendsgiving, and it just felt really festive, and it just gave the house that sense of purpose and what it was really for. So glad to have hosted so many amazing people and friends and family who came to stay with us. It's been really so much fun. So thank you to everyone who came to visit and celebrated this amazing house with us. From all its variations, here it is as it is today. The mural was an amazing experience for me to be able to kind of tap into my artistry again. I'm so glad to have had the opportunity and given myself the space to be super creative with the house and like add some flair and unique details. It became the second phase of Moonflower Child's kind of like up and coming again, from closing my business down to then working on a coloring book to then wanting to kind of just do something more creative. I took this mural and made it into a digital print and have been printing wrapping paper, swimsuits, and all kinds of things like that. I'm so grateful that this mural inspired a piece of artwork for me to hold on to and share with you all. This whole archway situation is legit. It's so bougie. Now, there's so many things that I wish I could have done more to this house, but honestly, after 2 years of renovating it, it's been enough. Yeah, the amount of money and time that renovations take is hardcore. But I would have liked to have painted inside these recessed areas to really help bring out the detail that was there from the original build in the 1920s. So yeah. Don't look at this old light fixture. It was from the other room and we put it here. We would have switched it out, but you know, we're working with what we got. It kind of has a floral vibe. Definitely isn't modern and like renewed, but it fits the like bohemian flowery kind of thing going on here in this room. From here, we are gonna jump straight into the kitchen, probably one of my most favorite rooms in this entire house. Welcome to the kitchen. This room is the bee's knees. And we put some honeycomb backsplash tiles because we love bees. Well, Babes loves bees and I love honey, and something unique to kind of help bring this space together a bit, because at one point we literally didn't have a backsplash and we were debating what it was going to be, but I really feel like the honeycomb brings it all together. So this room originally had a door that we closed off on the side here, and I guess intended in the 1920s, 100 years ago, to be a dining space. So we opened this doorway here that went into the kitchen, which I'll take you there in a minute, but this kitchen door had some swinging doors and the doorway was much thinner, essentially where you would have had your waitstaff prepare your meal, come through and serve your guests while they were here in the dining room. So it's kind of wild that we flip-flop things around and brought it to today's like world and space where the kitchen is what you call the heart of the home. And this place has been amazing for us. We love cooking. And if you've seen our cookbook, we made it in a tiny kitchen, and coming into a massive kitchen was just like, oh my God, the biggest gift ever. Like, we were able to spread out and have pizza nights, and for Friendsgiving have like a buffet, like 360 all around on every single countertop. It's been amazing. When we first got here, we had the door here, the dining room. We had this awkward like 3-window situation, and we decided to open it out, make it all the same size so that we could have the counters run all the way across. So we've got the sink up front and center over here, with an updated sink faucet, but definitely like classic vibes. Got updated gas kitchen range with a hood and an oven on this side, and we split them so that you could really make use of the entire kitchen. So this has been really amazing for us to have and cook, and this little peep window for saying hey to your friends while they're having food. That's kind of fun too. We had the quartz countertops installed. We went to the granite and stone place and chose them out so that they would be a bright, airy, bohemian, rustic kind of vibe. The paint color, a lot of people ask, it comes out a little orange in the video, but it's much more like terracotta-y. It's called cavern clay. It's not very cavernous in here because this room gets the most amount of light, and when we were living here, I had my plants all across the windowsills, and it was just the most amazing room to be cooking. On the opposite wall here, you've got what we had hoped to be the coffee station, I guess. We were planning on putting some like floating shelves, which is really something that I think would help kind of complete this space, something rustic and wood. But we've got the nested fridge, which has been really cool. I hate when fridges like stick out and they look ugly on the side. Speaking of the cabinetry, it took forever to build these things and put them together, and had a team install them and level them and do all that other hard work part. But building these cabinets was no joke. That is the kitchen for you. Across the entire of the house, all the wood floors were redone. We had a guy come in and sand and stain and polyurethane the entire house. So it's all got fresh floors and looks amazing. Moving into the breakfast room, staged with a table that I wish we could have had the entire time that we were living here. This is definitely the vibe for a family meal. You can sit and have a little bit of light coming in through that window and just have this huge banquet for just chilling and having amazing meals. This floor, before our first Friendsgiving, I was meticulously painting this floor, hand painting it with the tiniest of brushes so that I could really get this kind of faux tiled effect. We dabbled in all kinds of ideas to refinish this flooring. We were going to tile it originally, but it is so unlevel because this house is so old that the easiest thing for us to do was to salvage the wood as best as we can. So we sanded it down and spent like at least 2 weeks preparing the floor to be painted. We dug out in between the rungs of the wood and kind of like tried to bring out the detail of it being the wood flooring so that you could see that and have that be just like kind of a vintage look to it and have it help create this like French cafe diner vibe. Don't even know how long it took me, but it definitely was a mission. And it's friggin' beautiful. I love it. I wish I could teleport this floor and bring it with me to my kitchen elsewhere because I think it's a really cool vibe. Breakfast room, which leads you out the back door to the mudroom. Let's go. Welcome to the mudroom. I'll leave you off level because that's actually how it is. It's sort of slanted all down this way and is definitely not completely level at all, but this is the mudroom and also the laundry room. So we've got these awesome washer dryers over here. We painted the floors with the concrete finish so that it had kind of like a cleaner, more cohesive coloring to it. And then we sprayed and painted this entire space. Actually, we hired a team to do it. And I came back in and touched up a couple of areas. We redid the light and yeah, that's pretty much it. The doors and windows were a pain. These are all the original windows and it took me a minute to scrape off the old paint because they had been painted shut and then also painted like on the glass panes. So I had to clean them up, prep them and then repaint them. We redid all the locks and stuff because there was originally 3 doors in the house and they all had different keys. So we were like walking janitors with all our keys, but repainted them. They're still quirky for sure, but the yellow door really makes me happy. Let's go through this alleyway here. So you're looking now at what is the corridor that takes you all the way back to the front door. Something really cool about this house is it's kind of on a circuit, so you can make laps, which has been so fun for Zay to just like ride her scoot all around that center like stairwell. Anyways, the bigger lap takes you through the mudroom and then over to here, and we used to play tag-your-it and all kinds of games and run in and out and over and under everywhere. So it was exhausting and also really just super frustrating to paint it because my ladder basically took up this entire hallway. So if ever I needed to go around it, I'd have to like lift it and move it out the way. And it was just also really hard to not chip the paint that I had already painted. The detail and the focus on the hallway is the doors, the black and white doors that took a minute to paint. I really think they came out kind of awesome though, and it just kind of breaks up the space from just being this big, long corridor that's just plain. I didn't do the same white as the living room at the front. I took that off white to just kind of break it up a bit and create like a division between the two spaces to keep that white really crisp in that front room, and then this a bit more like rustic and earthy. Welcome to the bathroom. This we started and needed help to finish. Bathroom renovations are no joke. Especially since our sink is going to be like right here. Nice. Oh yeah. That's good, babe. Wallpaper arrived. We have fancy glass doors and this tile. I think it's a little wonk wonk. We tore it all out. We had a bathtub shower set up here. We tore out the linoleum. There was like 3 layers of floor down here. We put in wood floor and then sealed it up and got it waterproofed. We would have done something different, but again, the complicated aspect of this house is that nothing is level. This is the bathroom. I'm so jazzed about it. It's got like a really funky feel to it. It's a two-tone with a little molding detail across the bottom down here. We've got some really kind of rustic white tiles that are subway tiles, but they're not perfectly square, so they're a bit like wavy and kind of bohemian. I love that. Again, with like the faucet features that are kind of like vintage vibes, and this wallpaper that brings back that botanical floral detail that the mural has, and also is a bit more like Art Deco vibes. The sink we salvaged from Habitat for Humanity, and this wood cabinet came from Marshall's, and we cut the hole out and had the sink installed on top. Just kind of adds a modern detail, but has also a very kind of Art Deco energy about it. I'm just really jazzed about the space. I love arch mirrors, and I love that this space is much brighter. It was really dingy and disgusting whenever we were renovating, so it's really cool to see the space come to life. Moving on. Welcome to bedroom number 1. This is the peaceful Zen room with the green color palette being sage. I did a two-tone kind of detail with one feature wall being green and the others being white and the moldings being green. I thought that that really brought a fun kind of two-tone color palette to the space, and just kind of like broke it up so it wasn't just all one color. Again, bringing out the detail in the moldings that are there and just like trying to brighten this space out. This room is on the northwest side of the house, and so it really doesn't get any light in here. It's nice that it's kind of bright and airy and has a nice view of the backyard and a view of the side yard. So it's a nice room. Bedroom number 1. Welcome to bedroom number 2. this room is the sunshine room. Celebration Gold is the yellow. It's a really rich color palette. Also, again, was a goal to brighten this room because it really doesn't get much light on this side of the house. So we've got the two-tone, and I feel like the contrast of all these three colors is just really beautiful in this space. It's soothing, vibrant, and just very welcoming and warm. We kept the tiles on the ceiling. We debated replacing that with sheetrock, but we decided that wasn't the move. So anyways, bedroom number 2. Let's go upstairs. Before we go upstairs, I want to just highlight this archway, this entryway feature and focal point whenever you first walk into the house. This is just like such an amazing, welcoming space. You've got really beautiful stair tiles that we glued onto each and every step going up, well, every other step. And it just like really gives that creative touch of just color and pizzazz, just makes it feel kind of like funky and brings back the whole artisan house goal that I guess we kind of had. So yeah, shout out to the tiles. Although they don't stick, whoever told you these peel and stick tiles stick, they don't stick. We had to like go back and glue them again because they kept falling off. So if you're ever trying to do that, just make sure you know to buy glue also. Welcome to the upstairs space. So this was a really interesting project because there was a lot of wall space and it just felt like it was just kind of getting a little boring with just plain white. So I decided to take a two-tone and kind of break it up and do like a faux panel kind of look. I drew out a line using a level, painted the top white, and just kind of kept that going all the way up through the ceiling. And I also painted the crown molding that same color, although used the satin finish to kind of help break it up a little bit as far as like texture and glossiness. And then down low is just the pure linen, and then again the molding's the same color with that satin finish. So it was a really fun project to kind of like bring out a little bit more modernism into the space, but also accent the old woodworking details. So similar to the downstairs space, I also painted the doors with that mix match color tone using the two colors within this hallway. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doorways in just this small corridor space. So moving into what used to be my studio.
Well, miss, I guess I'll be on my way now. You just give me a...
So this bedroom went through a lot of transformations. It was originally Azalea's bedroom and had like that turquoisey wall, and then it was Brooke's bedroom, and then it was my studio. I wanted something feminine, but also kind of rustic and a bit more grown up, more like if someone were to have a teenager and this could be their room. So I painted it this really beautiful purple color. Let me think. Organic Element was the name of it, and I really loved the vibe it gives off. When I had all my plants in here in my studio space, it really just felt like perfect. I really loved the vibe. Each of these closets has a little cubby at the back, and it kind of goes into like a little attic space, which isn't very exciting. I won't show you. It's not fun to go in there. It's dark and dingy and just as insulation basically. But we found a lot of cool trinkets back there, and yeah, it was just really cool to explore those spaces. there's a lot of history in this house, and that's kind of where we found a lot of tidbits of information about the previous owners. A vintage Playboy included. Yes.
We have toys and Happy Mardi Gras.
Straight up sweating my ass off. Ew. Look at this space. Wow, the first coat is done. This is Azalea's room. She chose out this beautiful kind of like Elsa sky turquoisey color. She really loved that palette, and this room has so much beautiful light in it during the day. You get the nice sunset coming through, and then Azalea had like crystals hanging from the windows, so we used to get rainbows all around this room. But I will say, with the old windows that we refinished up here, there's not such good insulation, and so we have a fan in this room, which definitely helped to cool things down. This room was originally my studio and was a really awesome green color that I loved. Eventually became Azalea's room. We loved having it connected to us. So as we turn to this way, this is the walkway into the master. Let's go check out probably what was also one of my most favorite rooms in the house. Okay. Welcome to the master bedroom. This room was so awesome to have as our main sleeping space. The morning bedroom light was really gentle, and then the evening sun was just like so vibrant and beautiful. Compared to our last master bedroom in the bus, this was really awesome. We dabbled with having our bed on this side where it's been staged, but also up against the window, and we kind of went back and forth a couple times, but I really love it this way. It has like a very bohemian upscale vibe, and then the mid-century modern details, which is something that I was really going for throughout the house. It's like a really nice contrast between old and new, and kind of somewhere in between. But the color of this room is so vibrant and rich, and I just love the contrast of the wood floors and then this beautiful blue finish. We installed the same brand fan as in Azalea's bedroom. Overall, I really love this room, one of my favorite in the house. Painting it and kind of getting it up to speed was just like, yeah, really awesome. And seeing it staged again is just like the coolest thing, to finally see it with a very like clean, put together aesthetic. Welcome to your primary bathroom. It's like the primary bathroom for the master, but also for this entire upstairs space. It's got a really beautiful bohemian aesthetic. We decided to go with a vinyl tile, which is working out really nicely, I think, and it gives that kind of tiled aesthetic that we were going for, and is a good money saver. We installed these window films to give a sense of privacy, so you can kind of keep this space open, get that natural light flowing in, which is a really beautiful detail to be able to accentuate these old windows, because they were a real pain in the ass to fix up and renovate. So we refinished this bathtub here and sprayed the hardware so that you could have like a brushed brass finish, helping to kind of elevate the space again and just brighten it up a bit with something a little bit different. I tried to go with kind of vintage findings to just like keep it in period with the house. Working in bathroom spaces and using the semi-gloss so that it's a waterproof paint is not my favorite, but the color palette is really nice. So we went with this really beautiful jade color palette, and I decided to kind of break up the space like I had done outside and also in the bathroom downstairs, just because we have such tall ceilings. We decided to have white down low so that the bathtub could really pop, since we painted the outside of the bathtub black. And then we did the dark color up top, and that just kind of helps bring your eye up, help you realize how high the ceiling is, and yeah, highlight the details in the moldings, and then also allow the floor to kind of really shine on its own. We moved the bathtub from here to there so that that curtain wasn't blocking all this window, and that kind of really opened up the space so that you could make use of nice windows. There's one last room up here that I'll show you. I don't have a light bulb in there anymore. I don't think it's still running, so I'm going to attempt to show you in the dark. Let's go check it out. Welcome to a very sketchy layer room. It's going to be really hard for me to show you anything going on in here, but basically it's a nice attic space for you to store suitcases, boxes, whatever you need. It's a big space. It's actually bigger than the bathroom up here, so I always thought it would be so cool if you could turn this space into a bathroom and have it connect to that purple room, so that that room could be an ensuite, and that would just allow for this house to be a 5'3", so it has another bathroom to use. It was disgusting when we first got here, so we kind of hoovered it up and cleaned all the muck from down low, and then when they redid the roof, all the old roofing fell through the cracks, so we had to do cleaning again. And we have 2 AC units, one of which is here. This is for the smaller unit that runs solely upstairs, and then there's the bigger unit that runs solely downstairs. So now I'm going to take you to the front porch, which is definitely a highlight of the house. Cheers. Welcome to the front porch of this amazing 1922 old craftsman home. It's a huge front porch. I think probably wider than our bus home, and definitely full of space for you to do whatever. Yoga has happened on the front porch, multiple dinner parties. We've had a table set up over here, a sofa set up down there, and a hammock over there. Around the corner we had the garden space where I used to put all my plant pots. Overall, this is a huge space for endless days of entertaining. The sun sets directly in front of the front porch, and so you get to watch nice evenings of pink skies. The ceiling was fully repainted. The walls, obviously with the whole exterior of the house, was completely repainted. We re-trimmed out the details here on the front porch, painted the front door. We took off the numbers, sprayed them down because they were kind of rusted and not looking so hot. We primed and painted all the railings around the front porch. Man, I could go on. The list continues forever, it feels like, but front porch definitely has a slight lean to it. We added a little bit of support underneath in the basement, and we scratched away at some of the big cracks, filled them with the concrete filler, painted the whole floor. I'm gonna take you around the corner so you can see the side door. All right, coming around to the side here, we have what used to be the doorway into the old dining room, which is now our kitchen. So we removed this door and decided to keep it as a little bit of a feature for your outside space. You're sitting here and you're reading, you have some gardening books up here, and it's all protected from the rain. It's got some nice beadboard details, stained natural wood, and trimmed out with that white finish. So right here in this whole section, this is the only railing that is brand new. What used to be here was actually a pretty old, very dangerous, rotted out with nails sticking out of it, handicap ramp. It was pretty rough around the edges, but we definitely didn't have a use for it, nor did we feel like it elevated the house to yeah, just where it could have been with the finishing detail. So we removed that and tossed a lot of that wood and rebuilt so that it was the same as the old railings, and installed that over here. One big piece of wood, chopped it down, and then we've got these vining plants, really beautiful, and will help kind of like create a bit more privacy around the bend of this corner here, because the house is on a corner lot. We do get a lot of traffic coming through, although this is a one-way road, so it's limited traffic, but it's still like pretty regular traffic, as you can maybe hear while I'm out here on the front porch. But this side little walkway here is an amazing space. It just takes you directly to your car, so you don't have to go in and out through the backyard that has the fence back there. Did a lot of gardening days. We planted loads of perennial plants and tried to keep in mind like different heights and seasons of flowering, as well as just making sure that it was going to be a garden that was low maintenance and was going to allow for the next homeowners to just see their garden bloom every year. And so there's a lot of different pollinator-friendly plants. Since Justin's a beekeeper, we really had that in the back of our minds of wanting to prioritize. So we've got some really amazing botanical details in the front. When we first got here, there was only some like fake plants, and it just did not have a vibe. So we've done a lot of work here to the yard to really bring it up to speed, to get some landscaping done, to have a bit more curb appeal, and just kind of like bring it up to snuff with the rest of the house. There's a lot more that could still be done, but we think that it's a massive improvement already as it is. I'm gonna take you now to probably the creepiest room in the entire house. And I have to show it to you because it was a whole thing to clean up, and honestly was really disgusting when we first got here. So let's go into the basement. Welcome to the partially standing height basement space. We cleared out a lot of debris from this whole space. It's a huge basement. Basements are never really welcoming, but this one was definitely creepy to another level. Over here along the edge and perimeter of the foundation, you can see a lot of gravel, and you can also see that the floor slab has been cut into. We had to install a sump pump down here. A lot of old houses are slowly sinking into the ground, and this one is no exception. There was a lot of water seeping in from the wall here where the concrete had just been broken down over the years. And so we cut into the slab, threw in French drain, had the plumbing and piping and the drainage go one way for that end to our septic, and then on this end it drains out over here to a sump pump, pumps the water out, runs through the tube out in the front mound of our front yard. This side, we've got a lot of things going on. This is all the bulk wood that we either demoed from the house or was already here in the basement, kind of stashed away somewhere. A lot of this wood is like the original hardwood floors or molding details or leftover from our renovation project. Down here we have the original furnace. It does not function, but it's here and it's very heavy and it's never probably leave this whole basement space. So there it is. We've got our hot water pump, our AC units, intake, and whatnot. We've got our electrical panels here. We have like 3 different electrical panels in this entire house, and a lot of them have the original fuses, which are glass bulbs essentially. So that was definitely a learning curve for us to kind of navigate what electrical panel and what fuse goes to which port of the house. We've got like 1 fuse for like the living room and half of the upstairs. So it seems a little awkward, and that's definitely something that still needs to be repaired. Over on this side is the lost section of the basement. Not much exciting going on here other than new plumbing that we had run so that we could have our kitchen set up over there. And it all connects over here, which is where our septic goes down and out of. This whole area was a shit show. We had to haul out a bunch of old pipes and nasty things. Yeah, it's looking much cleaner and much more of a usable space where you can store some things if you needed to and not be concerned for any water damage. So grateful that we put a lot of effort into this space, and Babe spent so many nights cleaning down here with headphones jamming out and a shop vac. The last space I want to show you guys is the backyard. Well, it's a little rainy today, so I'm going to try and make this a little snappy. Babe's put some mulch down here. Where I'm standing is a giant concrete slab that was here before we moved in. We decided to park our bus on this piece of concrete, which was perfect and super handy. Definitely was never easy to pull through the gate and do like an 8-point turn to get it over here, but we made it work, and now it's just a big open space, maybe for some patio furniture and some afternoon barbecues. Down the back here, Justin meticulously planted grass seed, pulled out some old sod. We took the time to plant some nice, what will be a privacy garden around the perimeter of the fencing. Let me get a little closer to show you guys. Obviously, being in a little bit of a neighborhood vibe, you've got houses really close by and a driveway right behind us. So with the perimeter here, we planted a lot of bigger 6 to 7 foot plants that will hopefully over the years grow so that you can have a nice little private nook here. Full-time fires, sit here on this bench that we restored, and just enjoy watching the sunset over here in the distance. We've got some blackberries, we've got butterfly bush, we've got echinacea flowers, phlox, rhododendrons, hydrangeas, all kinds of plants and flowers. It's on a slight grade, so a lot of the mulch and soil was flowing off whenever you'd have rainy days like today. So now that we have grass seed, it's kind of helping to keep the soil in place. We put down a lot of fine triple shredded mulch to help kind of keep the soil in place as well, but overall I think it came out to be a nice cozy backyard space that we've really enjoyed using. The house has been on the market now officially for like a couple of days, and I'm really excited to say that we've had a few showings and things have been moving really well. Obviously it takes time to close and get offers and all that, so I'm crossing our fingers that we will sell this house quickly. We put a lot of love, blood, sweat, tears, all the things into this house, and it's been one hell of a project, much harder than the renovation projects that you see on the TV. Obviously they're fast forwarded and then they like do show you some of the like holdups that happen and over budget drama, yada yada yada, but when you're in it, it's a whole nother level. And we've been through our fair share of learning curves with this house. It being a 100-year-old house, there's a lot of quirks and unique things when it comes to renovations, things to be aware of. Just made it a little bit more complicated to navigate. Overall, I'm so grateful for all of you who stuck around and watched me renovate this property. Justin was able to help here and there, but in the last 2 years, we definitely had some big shifts behind the scenes where we went from what we thought was going to be a family project to much more my project over the last year. And it's been a big undertaking. I'm so glad that we have reached this milestone of listing the property and really hopefully reaping our rewards once we sell. But overall, just grateful that we've had this learning opportunity and that we have experienced our first home renovation project. I think we'll take some time to not renovate for a while and come back to it in the future if it still calls to us. And I don't know if it'll be a really old home again, but we'll see. I'm really proud of everything that we accomplished. It's been a mission. Chestnut House is complete. Thank you all for watching, and see you for a few more summer adventures where we won't be working so hard, but just enjoying life and having fun. So thanks again for following along, and see you next time.